All right. So here we are. I'm here with Katerina from Australia today, and we are back to chat about all sorts of stuff going on, huh?
Oh my God, it's crazy, isn't it? Like, but it's been wonderful at the same time. And it's really all about your perception of where you're at, really, isn't it? I mean, the world around the world around me, the world globally and all that is really restructuring and rewiring and changing and shifting and doesn't know what it wants to do. Should I do this? Should I do that? And everything like that. But for me personally, I'm very centered, grounded, and I'm manifesting really quickly. And I've had an interesting time as well, but I feel really good about where I'm heading. So yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know what things are like down under, but we're in the deep dark winter here. It's very cold. I know you guys go by Celsius, but it's way below freezing. We have it's been extremely cold, like more than normal, which I don't mind because this is the perfect time to go within. And so I don't feel like I need to be outside and doing stuff. So it's good. But what's going on is everyone around, my inner circle is good and I'm very grateful for that. But everybody is feeling like this lull, like this, everybody has these expectations and then they're frustrated and then they feel like all is lost and then they grasp at straws. And it's like, you just see so much of it and people cannot be, you can't even speak to them about being happy. You just have to show it. So much is going on. I mean, we have this incredible farce going on here that how can people not see it? I will never know, but they don't. It is such a farce. It's a joke. It's almost as if the good guys, the positive factions are putting this on. And again, no one knows for sure exactly, but that's the way it sure as heck looks to me that you can't make this stuff up. And still people choose to see the negative timeline because, they don't want to be disappointed and this is all they've ever known. And everything is just playing out perfectly. It's perfect. And it's a perfect time to go within. There's no more news. People can talk all they want. There's no more news. Just go within. You'll know when you know. Everything is under control is all I have to say to everybody. I don't have anything more to say. Everything that I've been saying for years, this is the time to put it to the test.
Well, this is, yes. Also too, Laurie, that, we, the healers and the coaches and the psychics and the way showers and the grid workers, this is what we've been trained to do. This is what we've been trained to be part of. So now, yes, rest, restore, restructure, and do all those things, but you really need to be coming out into your own light and showing the world your capabilities, your understanding, your expression, your truth, without feeling that you're going to be judged and all those things. If these things are still happening, then you have much work to do. But that's okay as well, right? Because everyone's where they're at. Here in Adelaide, I mean, I feel ease and grace. But however, at the same time, there have been moments where I'm thinking, oh, gosh, all right, I have to stay really centered. I'm not going to drag myself into other people's dramas. And I have a group, like I've said before, that come together every week. And we're just leaping. We're leaping and expanding every week. Yeah. And, I always say, remember, no one's better or less than you. You are where you should be. You are dealing with your karmic debt. Because this is what I've experienced. This is what I understand. I had, well, the good news is I have now the crystal light bed healing in my business.
How is that going?
Yeah, really great. And I've been, I had intense sessions myself, and it has just cleaned, restored, restructured my energy physically, emotionally. My body's a lot more comfortable, a lot not in any anxiety, you know, those things. It's just brilliant. And I am able to do remote healing now as well. So
Beautiful.
just a little plug. But at the same time, I've also noticed that the cabal machine, I'll call it, you know, tried to stop me from getting the lights, because they know what it means, because it's going to pull out a lot of entities and darkness from your energies that you don't even know about. And please don't freak out when I say this, because even myself, and I've evolved very quickly, even myself have to be or lay down under the lights to remove these things. Mm-hmm. No one is immune. That's what I'm saying, right? However, what I have found is that I recognize when they're trying to stop me.
Yes.
And because the financial issues for humanity is the personal string that they pull, right? Mm-hmm. So if you don't do this and if you don't believe in this, you're not going to get that, and you're not going to be able to eat, and you're not going to be able to do this and that, right?
Yeah.
So what's come to my attention is that once you realize it's your karmic debt to resolve something, and you surrender to it, you resolve it, you release it, and it never bothers you again. And that's what, and this is what I experienced between Christmas and now. And even though I had to physically pay out stuff and, you know, to get my lights and stuff, I realized that there was still part of my karmic debt that needed to be paid. Mm-hmm. So if you change timelines, if you change timelines to avoid your karmic debt, you're creating much bigger problems.
That is so true. Yeah. And like you're saying about the entities, you know, I want to say, I can't say it enough. I say it every time I get a chance. They're coming after us, all of us, not just the healers, not just the people with a shingle out. Every time you go on the internet, every time you turn on the damn TV, every time you're on one of these 3D social media platforms, they're coming after you. And so you have to do things to protect yourself that maybe you didn't have to do a few years ago, or maybe you weren't aware.
Yeah.
But
that's right, Laurie. You have to look at your boundaries. You have to keep your energy clean every day, and especially you, my darling healers out there who work with energy, you must clean it every day, maintain it every day, connect to your spiritual guidance, create names, do whatever you have to do, because you have to manifest it around you. Yeah. Yes, they are around you. I found that my process manifests quick, names and so on, you know. Yeah. But it's very important.
Yeah, and
since I've been doing healing with a lot, I have come to a whole new perception of what energy is. I've gone into a quantum space of it. And, you know, I've had my eyes open to certain things, and I've had to sit here and go, oh, really? Okay, how am I going to handle this, right? So what you do is you grab all your tools, your information, everything that worked for you, and you use it, because that's your power, or your knowledge, or your understanding of self, or your little tools that you created and you know that works for you, right? It may not work for someone else, but what you're doing is you're leading by example, right? Definitely. Yes. So
and you have to be open to it
4
shifting.
weeks, Laurie, I've seen.
Oh, you're freezing. Uh-oh, you froze.
Yeah, it's our energies. I'm here.
They're trying to stop us.
Here. Right?
Yeah.
It's just the energies, as you know, you get too high frequency people together, and the internet just can't cope, right?
Absolutely. It's a 3D thing, but we're using it for higher dimensional stuff, and that's what you can do. You know, always a prayer of protection. Use your crystals, use whatever you do to stay safe, call in your guides. Again, this is like you were saying, it's a personal journey. This is a personal thing. There isn't a step one, step two, step three. You've got to make it your own. And you know, the more you do that, the more that there's
that's right. And then there are
what I'm sorry.
Yeah, and you'll find that there'll be more. That's okay. It's the internet, right? And then you'll find that your energy will expand, and then what I mean is when your energy expands, it just means you become aware of more information about how you can move forward and how you can connect with the universe or your team or the galactics, the angels, whoever you connect with, right? It's very important to know who you're doing that with. Also,
that is very important, very, especially now.
Yes. because there's going to be a huge awakening just about to occur, and that is all about there's a thread, there's a DNA thread. There's a thread in our DNA which is called the God space. That's all I call it. That's going to be activated in every living thing on the planet. And what that's going to do is that's going to make you look at what's around you, and you're going to either be in shock, you're either going to be horrified, or you're going to be happy because you've been doing the work.
Absolutely. I mean, think about it. The people that have no idea that anything's going on, it's going to be a huge shock. That's what we're here for. You know, those of us who have known about this for decades are like, come on, bring it on. But everything's going to happen in the perfect time. You know, everybody gets upset when something doesn't happen on their timeline. This is something that is so far beyond Earth, as you know. And just a little note to say to everybody who's feeling frustrated or in a lull or like, oh, maybe nothing's happening. Oh my God, so much is happening. Number one, it has nothing to do with this little drama on Earth. It is so much bigger than that. This is just one scene. If you have a multidimensional camera on a million different things, this is one little part of it. And what is playing out is a galactic thing. And I just found out not too long ago that we didn't name this the storm. The Galactic Federation did. Now, there's a little synchronicity for all my doubt that there's a plan. It is beautiful.
Sure. But also, yes, I totally agree with you about the outside of things, but also we are the galactics.
Yeah.
We are the wave of change. We are the ones that came to Earth to create the change, right? So yes, it was not pre-planned, but it was all worked out, you know. Everyone's in their place, earthly or galactic, that's right. But however, it is the human experience that is shifting it, because on the other side of the veil, they can only do so much. Yeah. And the agreement is that the human is the vehicle of this change. I'm just going to call it the machine. So this doesn't get taken. Know this. This is why they are lying to people. Like, for example, and this activation of the God space within the DNA is going to make you realize that you've been, and when you consent, that's how.
You're freezing again.
Oh, yeah. Because they don't want me to tell you this, right?
Yeah, it's what it is.
Yeah. So, you know, just do the best you can. Use what you've got. Don't be afraid to ask for help. You know, as a healer, coach, whatever, you know, however you label yourself, don't be afraid to go and ask for help.
Right. Because, and if you are a healer, if you are a healer, you have to get help too. You have to do the work. Like right now, I'm just in this little cocoon right now. And I've been off of social media for a couple of weeks now, and it's fantastic. There's nothing left to say on a 3D platform. There just isn't. You know, we're gonna open up to new ways of being and doing, and we have to be the leaders to do that, and not be afraid. Not be afraid to just withdraw our energy from these systems that have kept us imprisoned for so long. And I'm not afraid to do that, and a lot of people are. But I'm telling you, it's beautiful. it's peaceful, and we'll know when to regroup on a different place. You know, when we develop this telepathic communication, which may be a ways down the road for some people, but for others it won't be that long. It's all coming to a head, like you said. There is such a bifurcation of timelines. There are the people that all is lost, and there are the people that are like, wow, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened, and it is. And we couldn't wait to be here. And now we're here and we're going, oh, what the hell did I do? No, you couldn't wait to be here. And again, we're making everything we do here affects the entire multiverse, not just our little life. So just remember that holding this 5D, no matter what is going on out there. Yes, you're living in it. Like you talk about being in your mud, you're living in it. And you're here to experience the human experience, but not to get mired in it, to hold that 5D and see the whole thing. What is happening, the whole enchilada. And it is so grand and beautiful. And I'll tell you about a dream I had. This was a vision. It was so clear. So, you know, I was asking for clarification. And so it was one of those vivid dreams where, you know, it's not a dream. And just for a moment, I was shown everything, the whole plan, the whole galaxy, everything. And I understood it. And it was so beautiful. I woke up crying. It was so beautiful. And when I woke up, it's like I understood it for just a second, and then it was gone. So I was left with the feeling of, oh my God, it's so beautiful. It can't fail. This is amazing. But yet I don't remember all the specifics. However, this is so big and this is so well done and it's so beautiful that it can't fail. Oh, I think you froze again. Uh-oh. Well, I'll just talk until you come back. How's that? But yeah, this vision was amazing. It was Technicolor. It was absolutely a view of everything that's happening. And we're going to take a little pause, maybe while Katerina logs back in. So hopefully she gets back soon. She was having internet issues. But anyway, yeah, this dream was so beautiful. And I understood it all for just a second. Obviously, it's beyond anything that we with our human minds can understand, but our higher dimensional parts do understand this. And they are deeply involved. And so much is happening. This goes so much beyond what's happening in America. It goes so much beyond what's happening even on the Earth. This is a galactic thing. This is a galactic synchrony of so many forces and so many races and so many beautiful things that are happening. So this is a time for faith and to know that this plan has been in place for eons. Maybe on our Earth, it's been decades, but it's been in place for eons, ever since the origin of humans, ever since the beginning of things in our galaxy, which is billions of years ago. This is a time to rise beyond it. The only way to fully get beyond everything that's happening right now, and to get beyond this reptilian influence and this cabal influence is to raise our frequency so that we are beyond their reach. And that's the whole point of it. But first, people have to wake up. People that are traumatized, here's Katerina back. There we go. Okay, people that are traumatized are going to be in such a low state of vibration that they won't be able to. And so that's why we're kind of easing everyone into it. So there you are.
So it shut me out. So I was going to say maybe we should end this, come back in and start again, and maybe or keep going. I don't know, but
I don't know. I guess let's just keep going where we are, because I was talking while you were gone. I'm just telling more about my dream and stuff. And we can just keep going for a little bit and see how it works. If it doesn't, we can always come back on another day. So yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, I was just talking about that view. It was beautiful, and I'm like, this has been billions of years in the making, from the beginning of issues in the galaxy, with the beginning of humans in the Lyra system way back when. We are them come back. We are the humans. They've come in the form of Pleiadians now. They've come in the form of the Alpha Centauris now. They've come, we have the Arcturians that were here way back when, during all of the stuff going on in this galaxy. They're all here to help us, and we are them. We've lived in those systems. This is so far beyond just humans on Earth that are helpless. And we don't have the technology to get away from the cabal. However, our counterparts do. And so that's the assistance that we are getting, because we are now ready. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. At the same time, for it to work, humans have to work.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. It's like, people have to stay in faith right now, and you have to educate yourself as much as you can, or else you're going to be so shell-shocked when the shit hits the fan, and it's about to, that you are going to be in such a low vibration that you may get swept away with the flood. Some people will fracture and not be able to recover. There is such a bifurcation of the timelines that, again, you and I we're just like, woo, this is all great, and we're living in a 5D bubble. And you go out in the world and you see people suffering, and all we can give them is our compassion and our love, because they don't really want anything else right now. But they will.
Sure. However, I may be in my 5D bubble, not all the time though. I still have to live in the 3D world, and I still have my challenges with the machine not giving me any money, and not retrieving money and stuff like that. I mean, since I've received the lights and know my purpose and everything, the attacks have been more intense, because they know what I'm going to be doing with it, right? And my job is to be pulling out these things out of people's energies. And like I said, even the best of us, you don't know what you've got there. You may have an idea of a parameter of your energy, but let me tell you, there is a beyond parameter, like the quantum of your energy, that is there's a lot of work to be done in the quantum area of releasing and healing now.
And all these other beings can see our power. They can see our potential. They can see our light. And we think we're worth nothing, because we have been kept in this matrix. And it's time to realize that we are these golden beings that happen to live on Earth right now. But we are galactic beings. We are eternal beings. We are universal beings. We are part of Source. And so we are never defeated. It may look like it in 3D, guys. Come on up here and look at that view. See what I saw in that vision, that it will always stick with me. I will never, ever doubt and falter, because I know it's there.
No, but yeah, sure, it's there. Your dream was about you, though. Everybody has a different perception of what everything is going on. So for us who are working with it or doing it, because I don't want those who are finding it a challenge and all those things to feel that we are better than you, because we're not, because that's what I'm trying to tell you. I still have my challenges every day. Mm-hmm. I just see it and perceive it differently. My energy shift my energetic signature has shifted, but that's because I sat in the mud for 20 odd years, becoming friends with it, and now I was able to stand up and move away from it, right?
Right.
So I want to make that very clear for all those who are listening, wherever you are, that it doesn't matter where you are at, there is always something to clean because we're human.
That's for sure. Stuff's popping up. And again, it's about faith right now, guys. It's about faith. You may not, we're an instant drive-through, instant gratification society. Well, we've got to move beyond that. I would like to think it's because we're used to manifesting instantly in the other realms, but that's not the case here on Earth. There is still a lag. Yeah, it's increased. But sometimes you just have to trust and have faith in God and in yourself. You are part of that. And you can't lose faith now. We've gotten this far. We're this close. It's like, oh, you almost had it, you can't lose. It's about faith right now, and trusting that it will all be beautiful. It already is beautiful if you tap into 5D. And yeah, shit is really crazy in 3D. And that's okay if you get pulled down there. But how soon can you get back to your balance and your center in a higher dimensional reality? And I think
I think we sure. But we all got to be careful how we express what 5D is. 5D is not another place. 5D is within your own understanding of self. That's 5D. Absolutely. 5D is all about retrieving your self-worth and your self-love. And once you do those things and gain your power, then you are able to manifest quickly. But to do that, and I'm going to make this very clear, to do that, you have to work at it all the time. You got to clean your house. You got to see, you got to clean your house. You've got to maintain your house. You've got to make sure who are you communicating with? Because I'm telling you, the cabal or the reptilians are very deceitful, and they can make you think that they're Archangel Michael or they're beautiful things, right? You have to see beyond the bling bling.
Yeah, and they're shapeshifters of epic proportion. They're shapeshifters. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. You can see it in people. And, a lot of people want to, say, oh, the dark forces, we hate them. A lot of these people are enslaved and mind programmed, and they're going to need our compassion too, as they deprogram from this horrifying matrix. And as people realize what's really been going on. And
sure.
Yeah. And even if you can get to the point where you forgive them because that's their essence. Wow. To be souls that can't evolve spiritually, that have chosen this path to not evolve in that way, and that prey off the life force of others. That's the only way they can get their sustenance, because they don't have that connection with source, because they've severed it. They've willfully severed it so many billions of years ago that they don't even remember it. How sad is that?
Yeah, and you're talking about the lower vibration of the darkness. There is a higher dimensional darkness as well that is a lot more manipulative and a lot more hiding, and they use the lower vibration as their little puppets, right? That's what goes on.
The elite of the reptilians are masters at this. They make you believe that they're, whatever, pick a name, Satanists, Luciferians. It's like, this is them manifesting for you. They are the demons. They are the devil. And they've fooled people for eons with fear.
But unfortunately now, this is a positive thing, okay? I'm saying that for years we have found ourselves on the internet, like all the people before me, for example. I'm very grateful for them, because they found their way on the internet, and they were sharing their knowledge and their experience and their process and how they uplifted themselves and how they increased their energies and who they communicate with. And then because they helped me to be who I am today. However, if you don't listen and you don't want to help yourself, that this is your decision, your karma, so you have to stay in 3D till you decide that you will start to listen.
Absolutely.
But that's not a negative or a positive. That's just karma.
Yeah. You've got to face the dweller on the threshold, and this is the time. If you haven't done it already, it's really time to do that. And it's yucky and it sucks. and it's horrible, but afterward you are free. You are free. And of course there are many, many levels of this, and there are many dwellers on the threshold, but beyond it, on the other side, is freedom. And we're just going to be embracing more and more freedom as we emerge from this miasma,
Sure.
as we emerge from this planet full of deceit and lies and illusion. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So again,
No.
counting on this grand awakening. A lot of people are awakening. I know here and around the world, people are awakening. However much, even a little bit. Open the door just a crack. Let one photon of light in, and you'll be surprised what comes in to help you.
Sure. But what is the awakening? The awakening is when you decide you take your power back. The awakening is when you decide that you are worthy of all the good things in your life. The awakening is when you decide that you have the power within you to manifest what you want. That's freedom. That's the freedom you're talking about, Laurie.
Absolutely.
And to uplift let's uplift the vibe a little bit here. So some of the beautiful things that you can achieve is the fact that your human body will relax, because it's not on the edge all the time. So your human body will relax. That means your mind will relax. That means your emotional state will relax, and you'll be able to make better decisions about what you want in your life.
Right. You're not reacting from fear. You're reacting because you're creating. Instead of reacting out of fight flight, your body thinks you're being chased by a tiger. No, that's illusion. So yeah, it's amazing, because on the other side is that peace. Don't we all crave peace? 90% of the people on this earth want the same thing. They want peace. They want love. They want self-actualization. They want purpose. And we will find that although they've tried to divide us, that we're all really very similar when it comes down to it. And that's what's going to unite all of us. That we are all very similar, despite what we have been told, despite what the media yells at you every day. We are all very similar, and we want similar things. We want peace. And we're going to get it.
Well, to have peace is understanding who you are and what your boundaries are, how you are going to respond, and all those things. We have come here to be human, okay? Let's not forget that, because to be human is going to be the shift.
Yeah, that's
we need to shift humanity into a more galactic community. That means learn don't respond to somebody's negativity. Realize that you have the power within you to manifest whatever you want, because really, if you think about it, everything that's occurring right now, you're manifesting it, whether it's good, bad, ugly, beautiful, whatever you want to call it, right? We're all manifesting it. So how about we manifest the idea of, well, I'm not going to yell back at my neighbor today. I'm just going to let them rant and rave, because it's their karmic to do so.
Right. And when we quit reacting, thinking it's about us.
And that, because you're
freezing again.
Yeah. I mean, but I just, I humanity, and I care about what you're doing, the listener, right? So I'm just encouraging you to stop and think about what you're doing and saying and how you are.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about 5D, 6D, 12D, 16D, all that type of stuff. But the reality is that we're on Earth here. You have come here on this earth to shift yourself into a higher understanding. That's 5D. Yeah. There's no take away the bling bling, take away the big words, take away the illusion that you are better, you're the almighty God and you're better than somebody else. No, you are where you should be. You are dealing with the karma that you have agreed to deal with. Once you understand that, and something occurs in your life and you surrender to it, you will remove it or you will expand on it.
Yeah. If we keep fighting against stuff, like the Kabbalah masters at keeping us fighting and fighting and going around in circles. And as we wake up, we become free from that matrix. I mean, we really are in a matrix that we are transcending. And there have been many along the way, like you said, that have shown us how to do it. You know, and now it passes to us, and it will pass to everyone listening eventually as we walk our path, as we walk our talk, as we teach peace by our example. We teach love, show compassion to the neighbor that's yelling at you. You know, wow, that's a really big step when you can show compassion to your enemies, whatever that is. It's huge. It's freeing.
Yes, and yeah, and telepathically, I can hear, what do you mean? They're throwing rocks at me. I'm not going to stand here and be still. The point we're trying to make to you is your own energy to understand why you do things. You will then receive what you're doing, who you are, and making decisions that create a betterment of yourself, then you will attract that sort of person.
Right.
But if you are putting things under the carpet and not dealing with things, then you're going to attract the shit, because that's what,
and you will be tested over. Yeah, you will be tested.
The other thing that I would, I personally, Laurie, don't like that word test because it puts pressure on people. Is you have to surrender each time.
Yeah, those vibrations are going to keep coming around until you transcend them. But yeah, so it's funny when you know, it's like, you're testing me, aren't you? I see what's happening, and you see past the illusion. And so that's beautiful. And maybe that neighbor that's screaming at you is one of your greatest teachers. We have to bring that.
Yes, that's right.
Mm.
That's exactly right, Laurie. Like, I got to say, once now that I'm friends with my shadow, and we communicate and we work with each other, my life's got better.
Yeah.
I'm more ease and grace. I understand myself a lot better. And my shadow self actually gives me gifts every time I work it out.
And there are always gifts. The other thing is that people, all love and light, it's like that's what got us into this situation billions of years ago in other star systems. We have to be strong too and show those boundaries that we talked about, and not take it anymore. What do we want to create? Are we going to just go along with the illusion? Are we going to just fall down? No. Again, this is the time for faith and to stand in our power and to come together, because together we are a collective, and to come together is the strongest and most beautiful thing of all. That's where we're heading. And this financial reset is really going to help everyone, the good one. Mm-hmm. It's really going to help everyone to see, to be in that unity consciousness that, I don't need to steal from you, and I don't need to murder you, and there will be no reason for it. And then once we reach that, then we can start to become this global society. So
sure, but it's going to take many, many years. All right, it's going to take many years, and
it will.
How quickly your awakening occurs, it all, at the end of the day, it all depends where you're standing, how you're treating yourself, how you're treating another person, are you understanding how it works for you. That is, so every time you unravel something that doesn't work, you're having an awakening. That's what it just simply means.
Yeah.
And
unplug from what the media is saying, unplug from the nasty stuff on Facebook or wherever, unplug from it and go within. The answers are here. Nobody has the answers you need right now that you're looking for in 3D. Go within, trust yourself. That's so huge.
Yeah, but to do that takes courage and strength, and to do that takes determination, and to do that takes you got to get up and dust yourself. You can't just lay in your mat and expect a tray of goodies to come to you, because you won't see it.
And that surrender. Yeah, the surrender, like you talked about, is huge. You have to surrender into it and say, okay, help me. And sometimes there's going to be a lot of people hitting rock bottom. Some people are already getting there. They're just despondent. I don't have a job. I don't have money. I don't know. They have to hit rock bottom to look at what's really happening. And maybe they'll unplug from the TV. Maybe they'll unplug from the nasty family or the social media or the neighbor. Maybe they'll unplug and go within and just, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I've been lied to. If they lied to me about this, what else is there? I mean, and let's start there, you know?
Well, that's the awakening, isn't it?
When
that's the awakening, when you realize you've been lied to. But let me tell you from my experience, the more work you do and the more you bring ease and grace into your life. Like the other day I realized, yesterday I came to an awakening that I was lied to about something, but I'm not reacting.
Yes. And that's when you disconnect the buttons that used to just blow you up. That's when you know that you're free of that particular trigger.
Yes. And everything that I've done for the last 20, 30 years, whatever it's been, has led me to this point to be able to revoke my consent for a certain thing.
Yes.
And but I'm not down, I'm not on the floor in a heap feeling like a victim. What I'm doing is I'm going, okay, I kind of knew this all the time. Now it's in front of me, right? Now think about it, everybody. There are things that you've always known, right? You sit having a cup of coffee and you go, oh, okay, yes, that, this, whatever it is. And then what's happening now is because there's so many people waking up and cleaning their house, right? That's what I'm going to call it, cleaning your house. The energies are becoming more refined and more tuned and more quantum in their frequency. So then that gives you the ability to go, oh, yeah, that's it, right? I've always known that. And it's in front of your face. Everything that was behind us, that was kept in the dark, is now in front of us. And unfortunately, there are many that will have to face, quote, the devil.
Yeah.
Because if you don't face your shadow, whatever form that is, you're always going to be chained to the matrix.
Yeah. And when people see the many representations of this evil and this illusion and this false light and this negative programming that has been so prevalent throughout all of our lifetimes here on Earth, it's going to shock a lot of people. But once you break free, you're like, oh my God, you can see it everywhere and you can't unsee it. You'd have to put your head back in the sand if you want to unsee it. And there will be some people that do that. But I think most people are going to at least begin starting to look around and saying, wow, there is blue sky. They told me it was cloudy. Wait a minute, there is peace. They told me there was war. There's so many things. There's solutions, so many solutions coming, so many technologies coming, so many things to make our lives easier coming. No one has to suffer. No one has to be without food or without shelter or without medical care. It doesn't have to be that way. And we're going to soon find out as a culture, as a collective, that these things have been withheld. And that's going to piss a lot of people off. And good.
Oh.
I hope you do get pissed off, because that'll wake your ass up.
Yes. I agree with you. I'm very, I love humanity. And yes, I want you all to get kicked up the ass, because unfortunately, that's how it has to be. So if you suddenly wake up in the morning and feel like you've been kicked up the ass, that's the universe saying, right, time to work, time to clean your house.
I saw a hilarious meme today. It said, if you don't take this red pill now, it's going to be shoved up your ass as a suppository in a little bit.
Yeah. But, also, what I'm sensing too is there could be a few people, who watch this later or whatever, feeling a little defeated. But what I want you to know is that you are truly loved and that you have the universe wanting to help you. You just have to decide that that's what you want to do. Please don't feel defeated or lost or unawares, because you are truly a magnificent being. You must know that the galactics that I communicate with every day applaud you There are societies, cultures outside of Earth that have ceremonies and dance and sing every time you unravel and bring more light into the planet. So for those who are in a karmic situation where you're feeling really crap, I want you to know that you're loved. I want you to know that you have the strength. I want you to know that there are tools and people around you who can help you. You just have to decide that's what you want. If you decide that's not what you want, then you will continue to have your shit. Simple.
And that's beautiful. Yeah. And it's just on the other side of fear is everything you want. Everything you want. It's just taking that step. It can be very scary. But once you take that step and then one more step and then it's just one step at a time. But once you take that first step, that unlocks everything. The road just appears before you. But that first step can be a doozy.
Yeah, well, it's the first step that you have to jump off the cliff and have faith in your process. That's the step, right? And we all head that way. When you're doing your spiritual healing and your Reiki and everything that you're doing, whatever you want to call it, your unraveling, your transformation, transmutation, whatever word you want to use, what you're doing is you're heading towards your own cliff. And then you're going to come to a point where the universe is going to say, are you ready to jump now? Or are you going to stay on that spot for another 1,600 years? Because that's what's happening.
Yeah.
And you have to decide.
It really is. That window of opportunity is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. It's time. There is no more fence sitting. You've got to decide which way you want to go.
Yeah, the fence disappeared back in 2018, November 2018. There's no fence. So if you believe there's a fence, you're being lied to.
Yeah. That's a good point. And these illusions are going to unravel a lot of stuff within people. And, again, there's going to be a lot of love pouring in from the universe, from the galactics, from the angels, from your higher self. I mean, remember, the greatest angel of all is your higher self. We want to look outside for someone to save us. Greatest angels of all are your higher self. And everyone has one. And, some people are like, I'm the only person alive that can't see my guide. No, you're not. They're there. Talk to them.
Well, that's a good point you made, Laurie, because how do you see your guidance? You learn to trust your emotional state as a human being. You learn to trust your feelings. You sit quietly every day and you move into your own emotional, energetic feeling. Then eventually you will see. I promise you, eventually you will see. It may take a while because there's things that you need to do, or it may be tomorrow. You don't know. But the point is, don't think about what's going to happen tomorrow, and don't worry about what happened in the past. Think about what you're doing right now. So if you can take 10 minutes every day with your cup of coffee, sitting on the grass, whatever you do, and sit quietly and tune into your emotional state and feel into your energy, eventually you're going to see the energy that's around you that wants to help you. I promise you. It took me 20 odd years, but I went through a process of 7 years to ensure that I can see safely. So there is a process. You have to be safe in what you're doing. There is energy out there that you cannot see. And believe me, there is energy that even the best of us can't see. But once you do see it, I agree, Laurie, you can never unsee it. Yeah. And you that's your power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's your power. Remember, your power is when you see and feel the truth in yourself, and then you see it in others, because you cannot undo it then.
Yeah.
And then there's always, there's talk right now that the cabal is losing their, is losing the fight. They're losing the energy. That's because when you come to a point in your evolution and you decide to revoke your consent, it is universal law that they let you go.
They have to. And we're all evolving beyond their reach. When we break free from the matrix, again, they cannot weave their web of illusion around you. You won't buy it. For instance, I didn't watch it, but I saw a clip of it, the Super Bowl. It's in your
Oh,
face
yeah.
what they're doing. In your face. And I hope none of you watched that and supported that shit, because that's what it is.
Yeah,
But
we
it's in
didn't
our
see that.
faces. Come on.
Yeah. Australians, yeah, we don't see that over here, but I have heard, but you know what they're doing. But of course, because that's all bling bling and that's all money, and let me tell you, I've had many visions of late of the standing of where who the cabal is, and let me tell you, they're beautiful people, okay? They're beautiful, rich beyond your imagination. They're very nice. They will tell you exactly what you need to hear until you learn to see them for what they are. And that is learning to see the shadow within you. Can you hear what I'm saying? They use your own shadow to deceive you.
They do.
But once you learn to love your shadow, which is you, which is a part of you, then you are removing yourself from that illusion. And it takes work, my friends. And God bless you all, because it takes work. It takes courage. You're going to cry. You're going to laugh. You're going to fall on your knees and say, God, help me. But you got to remember, you got to listen to the subtleness of the energy that's around you, because that's how you get help. Not the noise, not the bling bling. It's the subtleness, the quietness. Learn to love your nothingness, because that's where you create everything.
And there's a lot of noise right now. And again, this is a time for quiet. For us, again, we're in deep, dark winter. So it's easier. I don't know, you guys have perpetual summer, I guess, but it's easier. It's a perfect time to go within, especially with what's happening in this country. Yes, it's global, but right now all eyes are here on the US. And things are moving behind the scenes. Everyone's like, we didn't see anything. There's so much has happened that you have no idea. You have no idea what lies beneath the earth, and some of you do. What the amazing effort of the Galactics and the Alliance of Earth have been doing to clear that out. It is beyond your comprehension for a lot of you. Some of you may think I got news. It's way bigger than any of us can imagine, and it's way more heinous than anyone can imagine. And this is what we're becoming free from this. And these beautiful souls that agreed to go through this horrible torture and the hybridization and the testing and all of the stuff that goes on beneath ground, the beautiful souls that agreed to incarnate into this to help us liberate the planet, to help us finally see them for what they were. These are master souls that agreed to come in like this. The children, that's going to unite everyone. And again, from whatever level that you are viewing this, that's going to unite everybody. And it's going to be a beautiful thing when Earth is together. I just see everybody celebrating together. It doesn't matter what country you're in. It doesn't matter what religion you think you are, or what color you are, or what race, or it doesn't matter. Everybody's going to be one. And again, this comes slowly, slower than we want, but eventually there's going to be this, and we're all going to be celebrating.
Yeah, well, every week I come together and I sit here on Zoom, and I have people from Australia and America and Canada, right? Now, we're already celebrating.
Yeah. People don't understand it, but it's like, no, feel it. It's here.
Yes, but when, we all, when somebody's not feeling it, okay, it's just simply because they've got to learn to get out of their own way.
And if you're around somebody that is helping to entrain you to that vibration of it, if you're in a meditation, I know when we channel, people get entrained into that stronger, higher vibe, and they can feel it. And sometimes that's enough to just jar something loose, and all of a sudden they open up.
Yeah, that's right. And remember too, my friends, that when you're healing yourself, The crap has to come to the surface first, okay? Healing means removing, restructure, restoring one's energetic signature, one's emotional state, mental state, physical state, and spiritual state. That's what healing is. So if you go to a healer and then the experience is beautiful, and then the next day you're having a shit day, it's because you're bringing the crap out into the light so you can remove it and deal with it. You have to see it. You need to remember this. Like, as a healer myself and a coach and all those things, you know, I don't want people, the illusion is that you're going to walk away from me with all your problems solved and that you're going to be healed. That's the illusion, right? That's the cabal illusion. But I'm here to tell you that's not true, because what you're doing is you're deciding to jump down your rabbit holes, or jump down your rabbit holes to retrieve your shadows so you can clean your house. So you come for a healing with me, yes, you're going to feel relaxed. You're going to have your aha moment, because this is what I do. But in the next couple of days, you're going to feel tired. You're going to feel like you need more water. You're going to feel a little nauseated, because you have to change the structure of your body and its belief that everything is going to be okay. That's the reality of it.
Detox. Lots of detox for sure.
Yeah, that's right. You know, there's the physical detox. Well, I'm the energetic detox, right? Like you.
Yeah, it can be a big purge. It can be scary, but if you know what's coming, and if you know what's possible, and if you know why it's happening, it's not as scary, because you know that it's all leading you to be clearer. When you do a physical cleanse, you feel like shit for a while, right? So it's the same thing with an energetic cleanse, a mental cleanse, an emotional cleanse, a spiritual cleanse, all of these things. But it's worth it, because then you're clearer. And a lot of stuff is popping out for people. Strange things, just all of a sudden something pops out. It's like, oh, well, thank you for leaving, you know. I'm ready to let you go. And instead of holding on going, what did I do wrong? You didn't do anything wrong. You're detoxing on your own, on the light, the frequency coming into the planet, the frequency raising within you, the frequency raising within the earth. It's starting to release all of these things from your energy field that were toxic, that were dragging your vibe down. And so what? Stuff pops out. Don't push it back down. Don't say, oh, why do I feel that I've been doing all this work? So what? Be grateful that this stuff popped out, and say, bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you for the lessons. I'm done. We've integrated it. So a lot of that going on.
Sure. And just on a last note, Laurie, too, I would like to kindly remind people that when you are releasing negative energy, you need to send it back with love to its original source so it can reap its karma. Don't send it into the universe with love and light, because the universe is a junkyard and it's all coming back to earth of law of attraction.
Good point.
Right? Good point. So when you're meditating and you with your group, and you're putting all your stuff in the fire pit, as I call it, and to transmute it, get your team members, your spiritual team members, to create a blanket. Let Earth help you create a blanket, so you can put all that stuff in the blanket, so it can be given back to its original source to reap its karma. Just don't throw the blanket into the universe, because then that's how the cabal get it, distort it, and that's why we're seeing the crap on the planet, because it has to come back. It's law of attraction.
Good point. Yeah. And just remember, they feed off all these low emotions. So keep your vibe as high as you can. Do what makes you happy right now. Don't sit there and watch CNN. Don't sit there and watch a horror movie that makes you upset. Don't sit there and watch the Super Bowl because you're waiting for something to happen. Unplug from that stuff. Go take a walk outside. Read a good book.
Yeah. Well, Yeah, but then there are some people who can't just go and walk outside and do those things. So, you know, that's where I encourage people just to find that, create a sacred space in your house where you go and sit. And when you sit in there, you create an ambience of your own energy where you will feel safe to explore more things, right? Because not everyone can go outside or go for a walk or whatever,
We can't right now.
Right.
You never have weather like we've got right now. It's
No.
I don't know if you understand Fahrenheit, but it's going to be single digits.
Yeah, no, that's cold.
I don't even know how much below zero there is for you. But.
That's cold. Here in Australia, like it's summertime. Now, in our winter, like especially in Adelaide, we're close to the Antarctic, so we get the Antarctic winds, right? So yes, I say it's cold, but compared to your snow thing, no, maybe not. But Australians will say that it's cold, right? So we all have our,
right.
You know,
I like it cold. I mean, I do. I don't mind it at all. But you know, it gets old when it's still cold in April. But
it always gets like I noticed here that just before winter, sunny gets really hot, and then suddenly it's cold. Mm-hmm. I mean, oh yeah, autumn's here.
Yeah.
You know,
so nature knows. All of the beautiful flowers are getting ready to come up in the spring. Just like humanity is getting ready to spring forth. And I think that this autumnal for you and vernal equinox for us here, there's always a shift when the equinoxes and solstice.
Oh, there's a shift. Yeah, there's a shift every hour of the day. It all depends on how conscious you are of those shifts, you know, and the more you heal yourself and the more you unravel yourself, you become more conscious of the fact that you're the wave.
Mm-hmm. And this beautiful springing forth that is again, we're moving with Gaia. We're, you know, her frequency's raising, our frequency's raising. We're doing this thing together. We have so much help, like you were saying. We are so loved. Each of us is so dearly loved.
Yeah, even the ugly ones who are feeling pity or, you know, doing all those things, they are loved as well. It's just you know, the light comes in all different forms, and the light can be very subtle. So you could just be going to the shopping center to get your groceries, and you could be standing in line, and then somebody just turns around and says hello and gives you a smile, and you get the tingles and the upliftment. Yeah. You've got a good day.
Right, absolutely. And if we can be that vehicle for other people that are maybe in fear, maybe suffering behind the masks, that, you know, take off the mask, guys.
Oh yeah, like
take them off.
Yes, Laurie, like we're not like Australia's not so inks on the mask thing. Like I gotta say, like you are over in America, and I've been watching some of the stuff. You know, like take your fucking mask off when you speak so I can see your mouth.
And people are so much in fear. They really believe, even though there's no logical or medical or any scientific reason that you would wear one, they're doing it because, oh, well, they told me I'd be safe. They're so in fear of dying that they will never live. And it's like, oh my God. But anyway, I can't wait till that, as a medical person my whole life and as a healer, I can't wait till that is fully revealed. And some will never accept that either, because they're going to be in fear the rest of their life. I think most people will wake a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like we've said during our conversation, it all depends where you're at, your attitude and all those things. I mean, you know, everybody, like we always say this, don't we, Laurie? Everybody is where they should be. Everybody's experiencing what they should be. It's all about, are you going to decide to up level, or are you going to decide to stay where you're at? Because if you stay where you're at, you're going to have to repeat it a couple of times until you decide that you don't want to be where you're at.
Yeah, I don't want another trip around the galaxy in this level, so I'm choosing to move on, and I hope you all come with us. I'm getting off of this boat.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I know you got to laugh, right?
You do.
Yeah,
it's so comical and so in your face. You guys, if anyone's doubting this, oh my gosh, look at what's happening around you. It's in your face to wake you up. It is so obvious. It's here.
Yeah,
The
and
illusion is broken.
yeah, get together with your friends and tell some bad jokes and have a good belly laugh, because that energy keeps them away from you. All right.
That's
And
nice.
and like, for example, can I just share, right, when I got my lights, because they're from Brazil, I had to go and get an adapter, Australian adapter, so I can plug it in, right? Well, on this particular day, the cabal thought it was hilarious that I couldn't find one. Like I went to the shops, looking for it, right? Anyway, and I'm sitting here going, no, I'm going to get it. By the time I get home, I'm going to have an adapter. What, so I started laughing, right? I think, what, you think this is hilarious? What are you doing? What are you wasting your time on me for? There's other things to do. What, you're going to try and stop me from getting an adapter, right? So I traveled, like I got in the car, went to a place where all these things are, and then I walked into, we got a place called Harvey Norman, where you electricals and stuff like that. Anyway, I walked in there and the gentleman said, no, I didn't have one. I walked out of there laughing. I said, oh, you're all fucking stupid. I'm going to go home with the adapter. What are you doing? So I was having a giggle, right? That's the point. You're laughing, right? So then yeah, right. So I sat in the car with my phone and I Googled where I can get these things. And it turned out to be a store on the other side of the complex. So I rang them up. They said, yes, I've got one. I drove to the other side. I got the adapter. I'm laughing on my way to the car. And I said, what, you think this little adapter was going to stop me from fulfilling my purpose? Well, up to you.
Really?
That's what I mean, right? You got to laugh.
Absolutely.
You got to, laugh and know that whatever solution you need, it's going to come to you. You just got to laugh and unravel the crap so you can see it. Like the adapter is just an example.
Yeah, and don't get frustrated by all these little things thrown in our way, because it's gonna happen, and just see it for what it is and move past it, move through it.
Yeah, and you know what? I sat in the car with the adapter in my hands and I said, thanks so much for wasting your time on me. See how determined I am? I'm going to fulfill my purpose, and no matter what you do, it's going to happen. And then I started laughing. I had a really good chuckle. I put the lights on. It's on its way, right?
Perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody needs to have a laugh. Go out and do something that brings you joy, or stay in and do something that brings you joy. Do something that uplifts you. Again, this time, there's a lot to do while you think you're waiting.
Go outside and grab your snow. Like, you don't have to walk outside your front door and there's snow, right? Grab some snowballs and throw it at each other, kindly, of course, and just have a laugh.
Yeah.
Just get drunk on life, I'm going to say this, for fuck's sake, we're on this planet. We've been given life. We've been given the opportunity to create. We've come here to manifest, because that's what humans do. We are revered and applauded for just doing that. So get up, dust yourselves, love yourself, and create good stuff. That just means you create a beautiful picture to put on your wall. Every time you look at it, it's going to uplift you. And that's the point, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the point, right?
We couldn't wait to come here. This is a dangerous place to come. Not all souls want to come here. Most souls, although they knew that this was going to be a lifetime with so much soul learning and so much to gain, and that this was the big enchilada, this lifetime. And you guys are here, every single one of you, because you are ready and you were qualified and you have everything you need to help this shift continue, and this ascension continue, and this liberation of planet Earth continue, and the liberation of the galaxy continue, and so on and so on.
Yeah, that's right. And one day in the future, your great granddaughter is going to say, oh, look, my auntie. Look at my auntie. Look what she did for us. Or look at my grandpa. Look what he did for us. Just as we do for all those who went to war and did all those things to shift and change the energy, so we can, walk down the street without being, all those things. It's all about creating that gratitude, because gratitude is what lifts the spirit. It what lifts the energy, the frequency, and it's so complex, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's so complex. You know, so Laurie and I come together like this and share our conversations with you because we want you to know that it doesn't matter where you are in the world, there's always something going on.
Always, always. And again, we're in a battle right now. We're in a spiritual battle for planet Earth. This is good versus evil. You came here to be the light. You came here to choose positive polarity. Some of you are playing the shadow, and that's okay, because that was your role. I doubt any of you playing the shadow are listening to this, but you can always choose to play the positive, and to choose that positive timeline, and to have that hope and that faith, and to have everything kick in that you are galactically, your eternal DNA, everything that you are and everything that you have been, all is coalescing in this 0 point timeline, and everything that you are is needed right now, and it will unfold perfectly if you allow it to. The only way to stop it is by digging your heels in and saying no. Otherwise, it's all going to unfold naturally and beautifully.
Yeah, whether that takes, 2 months, 2 years, 200 years.
Or 2 seconds. Some people boo, but yeah, so it's beautiful times. Sit back and enjoy this ride, because yeah, this is going to be written in the history books for thousands of years. This is going to be the time that is talked about forever throughout the galaxy. And you were a part of it. And no matter where you are right now, you were meant to be a part of this, and you're perfect where you are. And on the other side of this is absolute glorious golden age. And we're all going to bring it about together. So,
yeah. And just think, it's already happening. You just have to learn to look different. You have to see with different eyes and hear with different ears, because it's already happening. It's happening. It's already happening. It has happened. We have won. So we're just manifesting. And the question is, what are you manifesting? Something to think about.
and I think that's a perfect place to end. So
Yeah, I think
always
so too.
keep your thoughts positive, keep the faith, hold the line, and know that you are the most magnificent angels that have ever lived, and here you are. And again, we are celebrated throughout this universe. So.
Yeah, and we apologize for the recording. So I hope you. So for those who've come right to the end, thanks so much. I appreciate you and love you for sticking around throughout the whole video, and see you next time.
We love you, and we are all family. See you soon.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Oops. I'm trying to stop the recording. Okay, now bye.